What's poppin', people? It's the only known wizard who is blind. It's the Blind Wizard coming to you guys with another one of these chat sessions. How are you guys doing? It's been approximately 3 days from the last time I've spoken to you. I hope you missed me. I'm over here in college land just doing my thing. It's been interesting these past couple days. Okay, first of all, I gotta just come out and say what happened to me this morning, okay? I was chilling. Like, I woke up and I was like, it's a nice spring day. It's like 40 degrees out, the usual northeast spring day, whatever. And it was like, I'm just gonna lay in bed until 7:30, just kind of let myself think and process and decompress my thoughts. And then I was like, all right, well, that's enough of that. And then I got up, went to the shower. I got in the bathroom, okay? Got in the bathroom with all my clothes and everything. Started to get into the shower, and then literally, okay, my back is to the door of the bathroom, and I'm over here getting ready, and all of a sudden all I hear is, wah, wah, and I'm like, what? And it's like, attention, an emergency has been reported. I was like, you flipping, frickety fracking fire alarm. And I was like, okay, all right, cool, this is what we're doing. So I put my shirt back on. And I was like, well, I don't have my cane, because usually how I travel, which is very bad. Don't do this. If you're ever blind and are traveling anywhere, never go anywhere without your cane, because then you have to do what I had to do. Because then I had to grab my key from my shower basket, basically. And I was like, all right, we're running. So I ran back to my room. I unlocked my door. And you have to understand, the fire alarm, sound effect thingy, speaker, that's what it's called, is, right above the entrance to my door. So if I walk in, it's going to be right above my head. So I unlocked the door. I started pushing open. I was like, game time. And I ran in there and I was like, whoo, all right, run, grab the cane, turn around, run out, and the thing is over my head, emergency. Please don't take the elevators. Go down the stairs. And I'm like, get away from me. I know the instructions. So I get out, and it's 40 degrees out. I'm in a t-shirt and PJs. And you know that feeling when you go outside and it's not even that bad out. And then you stand out there for a while and it's like, how did it get this cold all of a sudden? That was literally me. To the point where I was shaking, and one of the RAs came up to me and was like, are you cold? And I was like, no, I'm just shaking because I want to. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I had an eventful morning. Fire alarms. I realized, okay, it's not this specific fire alarm that is a phobia for me. It's just loud noises in general, which makes me feel very slightly better, but not completely better with the whole situation. What was I gonna say with that? Yeah. What is the technical phrase for a fear of loud noises? I'm sure that's a very natural kind of survival instinct. If something makes a loud noise at you, you gotta dip. We ain't about that life. And yeah. But no, so that's been my day so far. I also realized, because I went to class, and I was in my very, what's the word? Yesterday I was very energetic. I had too much energy. It was so much fun. I was riding that high all the way until bedtime. from like morning until night, and it was so good, so good. Like I was doing stats homework of all things, and I was feeling so good that I literally reasoned my way through getting the correct answer of my stats homework. If that gives you any context to how good I was feeling. So yeah, and then today I realized like, wow, okay, so for me, apparently, whenever I get one of those like very high energetic days, I need like a down day. And I need like a day to kind of like rest and recuperate from the world, if you will. Maybe it's the Gemini in me, but yeah, what was it? It was like it was bad, right? Because I wanted to be like super energetic, but my physical brain and body were like, nah, dog, we ain't having it today. It's too not that kind of day today. And I was like, oh well, fair enough. And I realized actually when I play more to that of like, oh, I can just chill and just exist, and that's how I kind of recharge my battery. I was like, wow, this makes everything actually feel a lot better. So like while yesterday was like me being able to expel a lot of energy and just like ride a high, today was like just settling into kind of myself and my existence and just being like, yeah, I'm just here and I feel good just being here, which is therapeutic now that I'm like speaking it out and thinking about it. But yeah. Was there anything else interesting today? Oh yeah, on yesterday, I was heading to my computer science class, and I want you to know, traveling as a blind person is interesting because sometimes you just like get lost, and there's this initial feeling of like, should I contact somebody? Maybe. But if I'm already lost, then why don't I just try something? I don't know if that's all blind people or if that's just like me and my adventurous spirit. But like I literally like went around my building that I'm supposed to be going to. I didn't even like walk all the way around it. I like walked down a separate path that goes along the building accidentally. And I was like, this isn't the path. So I turned around and came back. And then I realized there was like a branching path that kind of like hugged the building. So I was like, let me try it this way. And I went, and then I found like this ledge that was just next to the pathway that I figured actually went to my, like the door that I usually take to go to class. And I was like, do I risk it? I said it out loud. I was like, do I risk it? And then a girl came up and was like, do you want some help? Oh, sorry, that was my phone talking about Persona 5 Reddit. The GOAT! Anyways, but no, she came up to me and she was like, do you want some help? And I was like, maybe. And then I just like hopped down. And it was like, wow, okay, this is my life today, apparently. I just, as my friend says, I just do stuff first and figure it out later. Well, I think their saying is actually talk first and figure it out later. But now I'm converting. I do stuff first and I think about it later. So yeah, that was my yesterday. It was full of a lot of energy and a lot of shenanigans. But yeah. And then what was it? Tuesday. What happened Tuesday? Oh, Tuesday I made a friend. Actually. So I'm in this theater class, and there's this very nice woman who sits behind me in class. All right, hold on. Before I get into this story, I have to explain something. Now, I've realized that the correct way of addressing a female person who is above the age of 18 is a woman. I was very politely educated by one of my friends to start doing that more. And I realized earlier in this video, I called that one girl a girl, and now I'm calling this other girl a woman, and now I'm explaining myself, which is breaking the fourth wall on so many levels, but here I am. So, I have this woman who sits behind me in class, and she's very nice. Like she's always super helpful when it comes to like accessibility and that kind of thing. So like she actually takes notes for our group in the theater class, and then she'll send them to me separately. Because what she normally does is she like types them out and takes a picture, then sends it to the group chat. But for me, she's gone out of her way to type them out and send them to me, which is very nice. And then Tuesday, I was like, since I started like traveling on my own for this week, I walked out, and she was like, I have like a guide today, and I was like, nah, I'm kind of just on my own now. And she was like, well, I don't gotta be anywhere until so and so time. Want me to walk with you? And I was like, yeah, I love the company. So yeah, she helped like walk with me to my stats class, which was very nice of her. And then, God damn it, DoorDash, don't tell me about your deals. Don't tempt me with your food. I don't want it. But yeah, and then like today we did the same thing, and it's nice to have like a nice, consistent friend to help you get from place to place. So that's nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been going on that's like super, super, super duper exciting. Not really. I've been playing Manamon 2, which is essentially an audio game version of Pokemon, which is extremely interesting. And I don't know, so Manamon and I have never really gotten along, okay? I've played the game, I've started a new playthrough with the game, let's put it that way, like at least 4 times. And all 4 times I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I could probably like get past this point, but it's gonna take way too much grinding. So what I've done for this playthrough now that I've like restarted like for my 5th time or whatever, and finally like sat down and was like, okay, how do I beat this game? I'm not even focused on like countering the mechanics of the game. I'm not talking like super min-maxing. How do I just beat the game? And I realized, okay, maybe it's because I don't have a team of like a dedicated 6 Manamon that like I go from start to finish and just dump all the XP that I get throughout the game into those 6 Manamon, because that could be how the game is actually supposed to be balanced and played. And I followed through on that, and I went and started this playthrough with a preset 6 Manamon, where I went through and I was like, okay, this Manamon is weak to this, so this Manamon would be good for resisting this. And I just got to the point, it's like right after the second, what they call stadium keys, which is essentially gym badges, where, what was it? It was this it's like this very interesting part. Because you know that part in video games where like, after this point, you can't go back to what you've previously traversed. So it's like, once you make this decision, there's no going back. This is actually what I got stuck with in my first playthrough, and now I got in here in my 5th, and now I just got my 6th party member, because it was a ghost flying type in this area. And it's interesting because now it's like all the EXP is allocated just to this party, so like half of my party is level 23 now, whereas like before they were probably somewhere in like the 18 to 20 range. So yeah, I'm getting to that point where I'm like over leveled. But in this game, the boss battles or like the leaders or like even the trainer battles, they scale relatively quickly, honestly, to where like there's a second boss battle in this eerie area. It's like a haunted castle type thing. For any of my fellow blind people who might have played the game. It's that area, and it's one of those things where The boss is literally a skill check where it's like if you don't play this game correctly, you will get messed up, and it is unforgiving. But with this team that I kind of crafted and this new strategy that I'm going in with, I'm like, okay, I think with this I'm not gonna have any kind of issues with the game, because I'm over leveled or partially over leveled, and yeah. So, yeah, it's been an interesting kind of experiment, and it's interesting to see when like one playthrough can go for like 22 hours, and now this one that I'm on, I think I got to this part in like 5 hours, so I'm speeding through these parts now. But yeah, I've been like interested in playing video games, especially strategy games, in more of like a what is the optimal way? What is the best way to go about it first, and then kind of like have fun with it later? Just because it's one of those things where like if you don't go about it in certain strategy games specifically, you will like repeatedly get beaten down until it teaches you, hey, this is what you need to do. So yeah. I'm trying to think. I've been going on for a little while, and I have a couple more topics to talk about. So I don't know if I want to cut the video off here and like save these for Monday or what. But let me think. I could probably speed through it. Yeah. Okay. So in other news, actually tangentially related with the whole Manamon 2 thing, I've realized like I've started tailoring like each activity that I do kind of to myself, and not so much like a general like what is the most optimal way to do this, which is I believe like a part of growing up, but that's not my my main like point here. Or I say growing up, but a part of like finding yourself and who you really are. But I realized something. Whenever I take something like extremely slowly, right? No matter what it is, I'll generally like improve at a more rapid rate. Great example. I love freestyling. Freestyle rapping is one of like my creative outlets, and usually I struggle very heavily on any kind of beat, because it's like, oh, there's timing, you have to stick to the beat, you have to stay on time, and you have to make sure your flow is consistent throughout. But when you're trying to like think of what to say, that can be difficult. And the thing with that is most people are like, yeah, like 90 BPM to 110 BPM beats are like the optimal. Like they're probably the easiest beats to rap on because it's not too slow and it's not too fast. If anything, like anything below 80 BPM is super difficult because there's a lot of space in between each beat that you have to fill in with your words. Now, I believe that, that formula for the longest time. And then yesterday, on my energetic high, I hopped into, I was like, you know what? I'm trying this new, like, tailoring things to my style. So let me just try this. And because I realized, like, I'm a very strategic person, I like to think things through, or at least have enough time to think things through. I was like, you know what? Frick it. I'm going to try a 70 BPM beat. So that is slower than 80. Last time I checked math. And it was one of those things where I got on it, and it was like the perfect balance between like enough challenge to have me think like, oh god, okay, I gotta be on time and I gotta hit these beats correctly, but also enough time to let me think, to be like, okay, this is kind of the idea I want to grasp and kind of spit out in this verse. So I definitely think, at least for now, I'm like warming up to being on beats, because I'm telling you, I've been practicing freestyling at least off and on for the past year, more consistently now in the last like 3 to 5 months, I'd say. And I I never kind of like found my footing in there. There would be moments where like I'd enter this flow state and it's like super cool. It's like, oh my god, he's spitting, let him cook, and all that. But there was never like a consistent like I feel like I'm locked in, I'm good at this, I have like a certain level to this. And then I got on the 70 BPM beat, and like from the jump, I was like, ooh, I'm cooking, I'm going in. And then I was like, was it a fluke? And so I tested it this morning, and I was like, no, it wasn't a fluke. So yeah, those slower beats are definitely like my go-to. But like extending beyond that, it makes me wonder like what else can I tailor like this more slow, methodical lifestyle to, and kind of like make just life better for me in general. Great example, fighting games like Street Fighter 6. I would say Smash, but Smash. Street Fighter 6 is more accessible than Smash, so that's why I say it. But when it comes to Street Fighter 6, I've always been like in 5, I was a Ken main, and he was like very aggressive, so that kind of thing. And I always thought like, ooh, combos are cool, frame perfect combos are so difficult, and I want to learn how to do it. Which is why I messed around with Minot in Street Fighter 5, and then I tried to pick up Kimberly in 6. And I was like, nah, I'm good. So I've been playing a lot of Ryu because I always resonated with like the all-arounder, just like in life as well. So I was like, Ryu kind of like fits that for me. But now I'm sitting here wondering and thinking like, do I just need a character that is slow? Like their game plan is slow, not from like a zoner kind of Guile-esque, projectile spam, or like JP even projectile spam, because both of those characters are very like projectile heavy, and when I try to play them, I'm like, nah, this ain't it. I'm overwhelmed with like, especially with JP, I was like, I'm overwhelmed with all the options I can do. So projectile spam like that is not the kind of slow game plan I'm talking about. I'm thinking more like the characters who want to take their time to kind of get in, and like once they get in, they kind of blow you up for it. And again, not even like a Kimberly like, I touch you once and put you in the corner. Now it's a 50-50 mix up and that kind of thing. Because that's still, in my mind, that's still super quick. Oh, there it is. I was waiting for it. I was like, the phone's gonna say it. So I have to cut this short a little bit, but it's basically like, it's still very fast decision making of like, I knocked you down. Okay, 50-50. I hit you with this. Okay, now I need to think about how to link this combo into the next thing. And I know a lot of people do that from like muscle memory and kind of like on the fly decision making. But that's not really me. So I'm thinking like more of a slower character, like what's her name, Marissa, or I'm trying to think of like another good slow character. I say good slow characters, but oftentimes slow characters are not the wave in most fighting games. But stuff like that, like those slow heavy hitters, would do me more justice. So yeah, I'm waiting for the day if any fighting game companies ever stumble across this video and have dealt with me talking to the end. Give me a game where there is a slow ninja character. There's a character who is very methodical, because I feel like ninja characters or like thieves are very like stereotypical. I hit you many times to do a lot of damage. When actually I think nobody's really taken the take of like an assassin of like, I touch you once, like I hit you once after all this setup, and you took a lot of damage. Like I can imagine playing a character where like they might have like good neutral tools, to kind of like fight in neutral, but it's more about like a time. Oh no, I said timer system, and I can already hear like the fighting game fans be like, no, stall. But imagine that. Imagine a character that like gets stronger the more time passes. Essentially like a Wario character, I guess, in Smash. But like it crosses like their entire moveset, right? Like their buttons are slow. And you know, they don't do a lot of damage initially, but if you can hold your own and kind of like stand your ground for enough time, your buttons are going to do massive damage after a while, and that kind of thing. So that'd be an interesting concept, but I'm not a game designer, so I cannot code that. And on that note, yeah, I'm gonna hop out for now. I guess I'll catch you guys on Monday for the next video. I'm really enjoying doing these, like I said. I think the Monday Friday thing is very good because it's like a nice evenly spaced thing, and I don't want to extend that just yet. I don't want to put too much effort on my plate just yet, so we'll leave it at 2 videos a week for now. But yeah, with all that said and done, I hope this lighting didn't like destroy what I look like. But yeah, with that said and done, I'll catch you guys Monday. Like I said, like 4 different times in the last 30 seconds. Okay, bye guys.